Hi, my friends, and welcome. I'm Lily, and on my channel, you get all kinds of bookish stuff. In this video, we're going to be talking about Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. It's a heartbreakingly real and unflinchingly honest novel about trauma, mental illness, and self-harm. If these topics trigger you, then this story might be too intense. It's not an easy read, but it's poignant and transcendent about a girl who breaks more and more until piecing herself back together. It's a story you won't be able to look away from. That's why we take a look at it now. To the bullet points. Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow is a contemporary coming-of-age fiction novel for readers 15+. It was originally published August 2016 by Della Corte Press and has 416 pages, which is a reading time of about 6 to 7 hours. A similar book to Girl in Pieces is Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. Speak also deals with heavy themes and follows a young girl navigating through trauma and finding her voice. To the summary. In this story, we follow Charlie Davies, who is the narrator. She is a 17-year-old girl who has experienced significant trauma and finds herself in a vulnerable state. The book opens with Charlotte in a mental health facility after an attempt to end her life. It's a group home for girls who self-harm. It's called Creely. Her physical and emotional traumas weigh so heavily on her that she cannot speak. That condition is called selective mutism. Through group therapy, she makes progress and learns coping mechanisms, but then is discharged due to lack of insurance. With the help of her friend Mikey, who she likes, she moves to Tucson in Arizona to be closer to him. But things don't go as planned because sweet Mikey just wants to be friends. She finds a job washing dishes at a coffee house through grit and her own studio apartment. Feeling rejected by Mikey, Charlie is drawn into a destructive new relationship with her sexy older coworker Riley West, a failed, semi-famous local musician who's obviously a junkie and an alcoholic. She lets an opportunity to take free art classes slip away because she does not want to be away from Riley, though she knows he's too troubled himself to be a consistent positive influence on her. Financial instability and lack of community compound Charlie's struggles, and Charlie's life reaches a crisis point after Blue, who she met at the facility Creely, comes to stay with her. Like Charlie, Blue battles old patterns, but genuinely wants to recover. After an emotional setback, Charlie turns to the unhealthy coping mechanisms, and it puts her to a final agonizing test. But then she is rescued by two of her True Grit co-workers, and through her relationships with these friends, Charlie gradually begins to rebuild her life and confront her traumatic past. As she navigates her new environment, her healing process accelerates. Charlie becomes passionate about art and finds solace in creating collages made of broken pieces of glass. Through her art and her connections with others, she gains strength, resilience, and a sense of purpose. To my impression, first of all, I think the cover is great. It drew me in and made me want to know what the pieces were. I think Girl in Pieces is an amazingly insightful and powerful novel that took me on an intense emotional journey. It's a haunting portrait of a girl trying to escape the darkness while fighting for her soul and her future. Glasgow manages to vividly portray the inner world of the main character, Charlotte Davies, and sensitively describe her struggles and pain. She handles sensitive topics such as trauma, self-harm, and mental health, resilience, and hope with great sensitivity and thoroughness and touched me deeply. Through characters that are multi-layered, Glasgow succeeds in believably portraying the complexity and impact of trauma on adolescents' lives. The protagonist, Charlotte in particular, is a profound and vulnerable character who impresses me with her strength and will to survive. Her journey of healing is told in a realistic and authentic yet poetic way, and I could literally witness her putting her broken pieces back together. Through Charlie, Glasgow illustrates the difficult stages and processes one must go through to overcome trauma. In this story, Charlie learns to express her inner struggles through art, specifically cutting paper. Then she starts to take a responsibility for herself. The narration is linguistically compelling and intense. Glasgow has a haunting writing style that uses blunt yet poetic language that expresses well the emotional state of the main character and gave the story a realistic tone. The structure of the book is episodic, with individual chapters told from Charlie's perspective. And this narrative technique accelerates Charlie's individual story, her thoughts and feelings, and made me emphasize with Charlie's problems and inner conflicts. The descriptions are vivid and visual, adding to the depth of emotion and impact of the plot. The character development of Charlie is believable. I could feel the pain she has been through and her struggles to put her past behind her and get her life back on track. It feels like the author took me inside Charlie's head and I felt the cut and scarred arms and body. I walked alongside Charlie as she wrestles with her tormented mind each and every minute of every day and tries her damnedest to claw her way back to a functional and meaningful existence. Sensibility and empathy glow on every page, and Glasgow has an ear for dialogues which come naturally. While it is undoubtedly a powerful and emotional read, there are a few aspects that I don't like so much. Firstly, I find the pacing of the story feels slow at times as the narrative focuses on internal struggles and introspection of Charlie. It is very, very introspective and I wished it to be faster paced. Then I find the supportive characters could have been further developed and fleshed out, especially in direct comparison to the main character Charlie, and do not always react realistically to various situations, and that's why I didn't find them as impactful as they could have been. But all in all, I find Girl in Pieces a haunting, beautiful, and necessary book that stood with me long after I've read the last page. It's for fans of Girl Interrupted, 13 Reasons Why, and All the Bright Places. To the conclusion. Girl in Pieces is a very moving book and explores themes of mental health, trauma, self-destructive behaviors, healing, and the power of art and relationships in finding redemption. It's a powerful story of resilience, survival, and the journey towards self-acceptance without overdoing it. I find this book unique in that it provides a realistic, non-judgmental, and sensitive look into such a life and issues that are not addressed for fear of stigma, concern, or ignorance, and hopefully changes the way mental illness is viewed a bit and emphasizes the need for greater awareness and the recognition in society. And the novel also shows the importance of friendship, mentorship, and love in overcoming mental challenges. It is a stirring story that touched me, made me think, and also brings hope to those struggling with similar challenges. Books like this are why I read, to enter the head of another, to understand the unimaginable, to see a tiny spark of light and hope in the most horrifically dark of places. It's a Girl Interrupted for new generation, and one of the most affecting young adult novels I've read in a long time, Raw. I can only recommend it and think it's definitely worth the hype. It's not an easy read. That's why it's important to mention that for some readers, these heavy topics might be triggering or too intense to handle, and that's why you need emotional readiness before diving into the book. We've reached the end again. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit bell icon so you won't miss any of my new videos. Until the next time, bye. See you soon.